So today we're going to look at a couple of stale merge requests from the community to see if we have any clue how we might be able to move them along. But it's very likely they're in projects that we've not looked at before, so we might not have a clue. The first one, I suppose we should look a bit more at what the issue is first. So auto deploy image. So I believe this is the Docker image that's used for the auto DevOps pipelines. Do you know if that's true, or did I make that up?
That sounds correct to me. Yeah.
Awesome. And we want to allow cron job in the same way workers can be deployed. It would be great to deploy cron jobs in the same way workers are deployed. This is how I do it. Extends auto deploy, stage cron. Environment, variables, worker.
Has anyone here actually used the auto deploy, the auto DevOps before?
I think so, but it's not worked for me because I've tried it on .NET, and I don't know if it's just because it's out of date or because my project didn't conform, or
I only used it as a template, meaning that I took some part of it and adapted to my workflow. So not the actual auto DevOps.
Okay.
Right. So
where are the links?
So this is this who?
Am I correct in thinking that's Kubernetes Helm chart type thing there?
Yeah.
On the issue. So Rob's got what he does there. Is that's Kubernetes thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a clue. I still don't think I understand. Allow cron job in the same way workers can be deployed. So are we saying this is about having a script that will deploy a cron job?
Correct. So my understanding of Kubernetes is minimal, but I believe you can deploy like a Kubernetes scheduled job, and that works in basically the same way as a cron job. So you say you want this particular job to run every 10 minutes or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, yeah, Kubernetes will keep an eye on it and just run it every 10 minutes.
Oh.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm not entirely sure what that example was showing, though, because I didn't see any cron-like syntax in it.
Yeah.
But also, why this MR is stale? I mean, what was missing?
I will have a look in a minute. I don't really understand, like, why would there be a URL for a cron job as well? And also, it's like, this is how I do it, sort of suggesting it already works. So what is it that we're...
I actually don't see what additional changes this is still waiting.
To deploy templates. I've never seen one of these things before either, so... okay, yeah. Sorry, this is what you were saying, was it, Andrew? This is not a YAML for GitLab. This is a YAML for Kubernetes.
Yeah, that's a part of our Helm chart.
Gotcha. Okay.
So yeah, what comments were left on the MR then.
Let's have a look where it got to. I don't know whether that's a bad idea or not. Collapse all threads. Oh, there's not an expand, or do I have to collapse to expand? Yes.
I think you'd already expanded them all, didn't you?
I think only unresolved ones, maybe not. Right, okay, so he's pushing forward. So who raised it? Alexi P. So we've asked for a review. Labels and annotations seem to duplicate across Cronjob. Worker deployment and deployment. Wonder if it's worth opening a follow-up or even handling here the creation of a template to remove duplication. Okay, A, I don't understand that, and B, he said you could open a follow-up, so we might get away with that one. Is this really correct? Template or deploy. Okay, so it's fit in.
I think you resolved that comment.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I suppose I shouldn't resolve it because we need to see that it works. Somebody needs to test to confirm that it is resolved. Yeah, so I think that might rule this one out a bit. I did spin up like a local Kubernetes cluster at some point, but it was just a minefield. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really know even how to test this because we could set up Minikube, so a small cluster locally, but how can we actually test the auto deploy on that?
I guess so this is cluster integration. So we would need to build the image, and then somehow we would have to create a GitLab CI YAML that uses that image. I guess.
I'm trying to see.
I'm assuming none of.
Sure.
It's
Do you want to go, Mark?
No, I was just looking at the README if there was
yeah, that's you read my mind there, and I think was that what you were going to say, Andrew? Assuming this isn't all already
Yeah, I was going
documented.
to say, and it's not part of the GDK, is it? We just have to enable it in the GDK YAML.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe if you look at the GDK docs and see if you can see anything in there. And
the contributing.md doesn't say anything useful.
Tends to just be the code of conduct, right? Oh, yeah. Generating a new image.
Test commit.
Test commit.
No, there's not any useful information. Oh, here they're using semantic versioning.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a great opportunity to maybe try and learn this stuff.
You know that if we really want to start learning Kubernetes, one session won't be enough.
I do, yeah. Yeah, the biggest challenge is spinning it up, I think, right?
Yeah. Well, I guess not really setting up Kubernetes. That's quite easy, more or less. The real question is how to test this one out.
So I've just sent you a link. About using GDK with Kubernetes. Oh gosh, yeah, that's definitely not for a for us right now. And it does have a little section there about auto DevOps. I haven't read all of it because we need a Google Kubernetes and Google Kubernetes engine.
Yeah.
So it needs to be GKE specifically as well, does it?
You might be able to get it working with Minikube or something, but
I don't think it's worth that. I think that's where I had
this is out of
challenges
our...
before.
Well, I was able to set up a Minikube and deployment where I tested my deployment on locally, and that was taken from the Auto DevOps, but it's been 8 months and I don't really remember what I did.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that doesn't look too crazy.
Just about halfway down, it's got test changes to auto DevOps. Oh, that's on GitLab.com.
So yeah, if you're just changing the YAML, yeah, but if you want to change, I don't think it would be too bad to test, like I say, because it would just be a case of creating a GitLab CI YAML that's probably a copy of. So I'm assuming I haven't got GitLab.com open at the moment. If we look at the auto DevOps deploy, are either of you familiar with the structure? Is GitLab running super slow at the moment?
Not for me. Oh, maybe because you're using some bandwidth for the stream.
Yeah, but this doesn't seem like a bandwidth issue. It just seems like a... right, GitLab. I think they're in here. CI. So auto DevOps deploy should be in here somewhere, or is that part of this project?
No, it was somewhere else. I can. You're looking for the Auto DevOps template, right?
Yeah, the auto DevOps deploy. Is it going to be as easy as? Surely somewhere there should be a link to the file, right?
Found it.
Oh, why is it in lib GitLab? What's it doing in there? Right. So yeah, I presume so. Auto DevOps. Is there a deploy in here?
Oh, that's another template.
But there's a bunch more in here, aren't there?
Yeah.
Templates.
For the deployment, you need. If you search for deploy, there's 1, 2, 3 different templates.
In jobs or?
Oh no, in that file.
I can only see this one.
No, if you go back to the Auto DevOps template and you search for deploy inside that file. On the end of the file.
Oh, in here.
Yeah, those 3 templates.
Yeah, so job/deploy. Yeah, cool. I'm sure somewhere I saw it referred to as something else. So we got deploy. Even that's a bit weird. Deploy versus deploy latest.
Yeah. Also, the secure what was it? The secret detection template has a latest file. I don't know
Gotcha.
what it is.
So yeah, we've got this. So I think we could quite easily test by I say quite easily test. We'd have to get a Kubernetes cluster up and running, presumably connect it to GDK, and have a modified auto deploy,
And
which points to that image.
also keep in mind, I'm just gonna check now that because all the Kubernetes agent migration thing and the old way of setting up of linking a cluster to GitLab was deprecated.
Yeah, well, that actually might be good because I think that's why I had so much trouble trying to get Kubernetes and GitLab working with like homegrown clusters rather than using like either Amazon or Microsoft or Google's solutions, because yeah, they weren't quite compatible. But maybe with the agent, I don't know if that makes it a lot easier to hook it up.
The problem is that connect a cluster. Yeah, the old method is completely removed from the latest 15.1.
Mm-hmm.
So we can only use the agent.
Cool.
Well, maybe we could be able to set. Do we want to? First of all, do we want to try this out?
I'm tempted. I tell you what, should we? I don't know how we can. I don't know if I want to put loads of junk on the. I suppose we got this recording, so that's fine. I was tempted to add a note to the MR to sort of say like, okay, we've done some discovery, and this is what we think we need to do to move it along. But let's, just because I'm conscious we are recording, although I would be really keen to dive into it, but maybe not at this point. So maybe we just jump on the next one on the list and see if it's equally as crazy. And in a way, it might be good because if it's something similar, then if we end up eventually getting a Kubernetes cluster up and running, and figuring out how we can go about testing things and deploying things and whatnot, then we might be able to move a few of these issues along.
Yeah, I guess we should also figure out if we want to try to set up a local cluster with Minikube, or if we want to try this out on a real cluster like on Google or Azure.
Yeah. I guess cost is the only thing that I'd consider. So I'd be tempted to set up a so-called local one initially. And see how we get on with that. Okay, what's this one? 2 extra config parameters, which can be used to add something like volume to a deployment, to add a config map or a secret as a file. Using Google Cloud, Google Application Credentials. Right, okay. Sounds like quite a big ask, but comes last set or override any existing fields. So where did this get to?
Extra volume. A PVC, like a PVC pipe?
Oh God, I should know. Well, I shouldn't. Is it some kind of persistent volume or
volume cache, maybe?
So the ping, so training maintainer. Do you have time to look at this? Changes look good, but I think we should add some test coverage to the deployment test. Oh, the naming and whether it could be used or this config to 2 other files. Oh, this one sounds like it's maybe a bit closer, but
yes.
Indentation.
Oh yeah, because this file has this weird thing about indentation.
Well, yeah, YAMLs, it's super important, right?
Yes. And when you write a Helm chart and you have to count how many spaces it should put,
Right.
and that's not fun. I hope that this one got addressed.
Yes, okay, the container. Okay, so sounds like we're going with that.
No.
Oh yeah, okay.
No, say okay. So this is just deciding on what name is best.
Yeah. Assuming that hasn't already been updated, we'll check the changes in a minute, maybe.
Yeah. Okay, another name concern.
Yeah. Okay, so Henry's not on the GitLab team either, but offered to help quite some time ago. So I wonder if we can reach out, because that might even be an option.
Mm.
Oh yeah, here you go. This is what needs to happen. Quite simple. Rename, add tests.
And the problem is add tests. Maybe there are already some tests. We might try to have a look at those.
Oh, so this is 3 weeks ago. I've been busy. I'd be happy to update this MR by next week, as I'm still currently using this branch for my CI at work. So maybe we'll just nudge and see if, I mean, it's not had any new commits, but 1 year ago, 1 year ago, 1 year ago. Yeah, let's just have a little nudge.
Yeah.
A few us community contributors.
I was also taking a quick look at the tests. And there's only 3 scripts. Name kubectl. CI test. What are they doing?
I'm guessing, I don't know what it's like on these projects, but like rebasing is probably, it's only 120 commits behind, but I guess that's quite a lot on a smaller.
Yeah.
I'm not going to suggest it because I don't know what the rules are around this. So.
Yeah, also testing looks like we need to create a local. Yeah, I don't even know what test should be done, to be honest.
This is where it'd be really cool to be able to kind of diarize so that we remember to, follow up in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
If we haven't got a response. So Terraform, is Terraform as terrifying as Kubernetes?
Well, Kubernetes, I tried to have a look at it in the past. Terraform, I never used.
See, Terraform's more about infrastructure as code, right? Is that?
Yeah.
It's like an abstraction layer on top of, can't remember what the AWS one is, CloudFormation or whatever the Google one's called.
Terraform playing command. We can create a job that only search outside the state file. Oh, that sounds interesting.
Oh, well, looking at the comment that Joao, I guess, left, it's basically ready, this one. And also there's a suggestion how to fix what is missing. Maybe. One refresh only.
So again, without any knowledge of it whatsoever, this is just not going to mean anything to us, right?
I'm assuming that's Terraform changed their options. Again, I don't know
whether we need them or not. Yeah.
Yeah. Did the community member get back since that? No, it doesn't look like it.
I've not seen any response. So this is 10 months old. And this was 3 weeks ago. So again, I wonder whether maybe like we just, but then there's been no, let's see, stalk them and see if there's been any activity.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
So plenty of activity on private. So I'm guessing that's what happened with it. If I kind of looked at you, Andrew, or something, or no, because I guess I'd see your normal ones, but that's where if their company or they privately use.
Yeah. Although I had my private contributions, I think.
But yeah, it looks like they're definitely active on GitLab. So
they were. If you go back again, they were active a month ago on that repository as well, by the looks of it.
Oh, okay, awesome.
You could also try to look for his handle on the MR, on the main group.
Oh yeah, to see whether any other.
Yeah, he's active. He opened an MR last week. Oh no, updated last week, created 2 months ago.
I don't think 3 weeks is reasonable to have waited, isn't it, to give a little nudge?
Yeah.
All right, time we're not doing too badly. Oh, okay. So there's another one on cluster before going back to Terraform again afterwards. Okay, this one looks like might be a bit more involved. I'm going to start just having a look. So increase the default timeout. Could always reduce. Newbies might run into an issue, not know why deployments fail. Numerous trying to pass the lint test. Publish, try run. Do you need a review? Can someone on your team take a look? Could you take a look? It used to pass. Pipeline fails since changes the chart. We need to bump the chart version. Pipeline should stop complaining. So again, same, and 3 weeks ago that this one was followed
That's
up.
3 months ago.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah. Oh god. So, and how old was the MR? So 7 months. I followed up 4 months ago and got a response to say, yeah, crack on. I've got some responses. Stalking again. Okay, so a little bit more on the quieter side.
They were active a week ago, though.
Yeah, yeah. This one, because it's changing the timeout. So it's changed from 15 to 30, 5 to 15, 3 to 10. So I feel this is maybe a slightly more minor one, and it's really just to understand the rationale, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And we kind of want to know, is this impacting other people? Because would we normally merge something? There's no issue related to it.
Yeah, also the change proposed by Joao isn't that big that we might even try to give it a go.
This is that this thing here.
Yeah, basically just removing the change that he made to the liveness probe and what was it, and change it to a startup probe. But okay, default readiness probe, default liveness probe. Maybe the startup probe is actually missing.
I think it's just not having any context, really, isn't it? Because I know I've had this in the past where, you know, I've wanted to make a change, but is it impacting other people and how other people worked around it, and is it a sensible change to make?
Well, I guess the first line on the MR description says it all.
Right, so it's something that people might be getting hit by but not even realizing it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Hmm. Oh, let's just do the ping. Another Terraform one.
Oh, little off topic. Yeah, we have a broken master.
Ah, that's why your merge
Yeah.
result pipeline failed, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds a little bit more logical, if that makes sense.
Yes. This one, yes.
So what's the discussion?
Ooh, this is a breaking change.
Oh, I see. I see. So it's kind of like use the cache if it's there, but if it's not, just creating new one, I guess, is kind of.
Hmm. Ooh, this is a long comment. Oh boy.
Right.
In 16, so 1 year from now.
Wow.
Well, yeah, if this is a breaking change, that makes sense.
Good point.
So basically, this one was almost ready if they decided to use the environment variables only on that job.
Yeah. Two weeks ago, but it sounds like a lot of. So that's Thomas. That's so 2 weeks. Oh, so I don't think this one is particularly stalled, is it?
No, it was active 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. So we'll just keep an eye on that one.
Yeah, also it doesn't have the stale label, so yeah.
And it sounds like the discussion's being had, right?
Yeah.
Okay, something more in our comfort zone.
Yeah.
So I say that, but did you see what just happened here or not?
More or less.
It said overview 300 and oh my god, what is it doing? Wow. Oh,
They've changed the way it loads comments.
okay. It's incremental.
There's an is it known about it? It initially knows how many comments there are, but then it lazy loads them in the background, and as it lazy loads them, it updates the count.
Yeah, but still 351 comments.
Wow, doesn't that include all like the system notes and labels being added and other bits? So it's still high though, right?
Yeah.
Too small refresh, which I only noticed now. I've noticed more.
That's even more than my record.
How do you feel about putting merge enabled into project settings? Yeah, absolutely. I've just added a property to, project setting, and I've added it to project settings as well. So it took me to that one. That there's 18 unresolved. Crikey.
Oh, maybe this one might be also a tricky one because we're both changing the back end and front end, so we might.
Oh yeah, this is a beast, isn't it? Blimey.
This is a huge MR.
It looks like it's been rebased a number of times, so I guess it's kind of active. What I'm just keen to do, I wonder if any of this has been addressed or not. The thing is, a lot of these suggestions, we can just kind of apply them, etc. So it's understanding. Well, we can't push to the branch. I wouldn't imagine anyway, but just to understand if I don't know if it's Andrea or Andre or is engaged Andrea. So
assuming he's Italian.
Migrations. Add merge method cascading setting. So cascading. Add cascading namespace setting. I've never seen that. What on earth does that is?
That's a helper method?
I guess so.
What was it? Add the cascading namespace.
Yeah, but this definitely that suggestion hasn't been applied. So what I skipped because when I clicked on the link, it took me straight to that comment. I skipped looking at what this actually, what the MR is. I had the option to set a merge method for new repositories at instance level and at namespace level. Also allows to enforce such settings by leveraging the cascading settings framework. Awesome. So we added loads of questions. So that's a month ago, 2 months ago. So this is definitely one we might be more capable of sort of just taking over if the author isn't available.
Yeah, this one, yes, but I guess it would be better to split it up.
True. Yeah, especially back end stuff.
47 changes. Yes.
Yeah.
And 19 pipelines.
So yeah. OGI 0.
This was open for a hackathon.
Spot.
Which one? 1 year ago. More than 1 year ago.
Cool. I think that'll keep us going for now. I feel like there probably some really awesome resource out there somewhere for getting started with Kubernetes, and I mean maybe the docs are perfectly good, and just reading the docs will help get it set up easy enough. I'm going to add it to my homework list to try and have a play. Yeah, I know where I got completely lost before was I think I had enough trouble getting Kubernetes connected to GitLab, but it sounds like the way you do that has changed now because you use the agent.
Yeah,
And
completely.
then because I was running it in a local cluster, I say all of the benefits. I mean, a lot of the benefits of Kubernetes are like all the kind of DNS and routing and the fact that it's kind of public facing and you don't have to worry about IP addresses and port forwarding and all that kind of crazy stuff, which obviously me running it locally, I didn't benefit from any of that.
Well, not really, because when I set my deployment on my Minikube instance, all the different forwarding through the different services was handled automatically.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So how?
How? I should have a look at my.
Oh, you got to remind yourself because something needs to. The traffic needs a way to get through, like your router, right, and into.
Yes, and you specify how services communicate between one and the others, and they set up all the ports and to know how to reach each other.
Well, that's internally though, right? But presumably, if you've got like something, I don't know, let's say it's a website, a web application, or a web API that you're deploying,
Yes.
then that wouldn't be internet accessible, right? I suppose it doesn't matter.
You can have it accessible from the outside if you expose it. For example, I had 3 exposed endpoints, let's call it that, 2 APIs and 1 which was the actual website. And
did you set that you just did that? You manually forwarded ports, etc., on the router, or?
No. I set up the Kubernetes. I should have a look at the Helm chart, but yeah, I exposed the services and told them how to. Yeah, how?
Because the router's got to know. The router's got to know that it's got to allow traffic in from the internet, right? Unless there's an agent of some sort that can communicate with the router. I don't know. But even then, like you've only, depending on how many public IP addresses you've got and what router you've got and all that kind of stuff, you're limited to how many services you can run on the same port, etc.
Yes.
That's for another time. Though. I know I found a company called Civo or something, CIVO, that seemed to offer like much cheaper Kubernetes clusters than like Google and what's the other one? DigitalOcean and stuff like that pop up quite a lot.
Okay.
So,
well, I deployed only to Azure, so yeah.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, we didn't write any code today, but it was interesting looking at those other projects, and it definitely, I don't know, not scratches an itch, but makes me want to learn more about those things. So maybe for next time.
Yeah. Keep in mind that Kubernetes is difficult.
I think it's difficult to master it, right? But we can certainly try and be newbies and see if we can get started on it. Like have a bit of homework before the session.
Yeah.
I'm sure
I might. Yeah, I found a really good introduction to mini Kubernetes, but I can't find it anymore. I'll try and dig that out for next time.
On YouTube?
No, it was on. I found it on Hacker News. I think it was like a blog post.
Okay.
So I remember when I was playing, I started by trying to use something called K3S, which was like a one-liner sort of installation thing that. But then at some point I think it was mainly because it was using like Kubernetes, let's say 1.17 or something like that, and GitLab only supported 1.15. So that was where I was hitting a roadblock. And then I started trying to use some kind of rancher thing that had like a nice UI, and that's the last time I played with it. But I think that's what I was lacking, some kind of UI, because it's like, surely we don't have to, know all of the command. Like every time I needed to remember, how do I check pods and how do I check logs and how do I do all this stuff? It was just a bit painful.
Yeah, when I set up my deployment over on Azure, I wrote down every line, every script that I needed to launch. Also because I was testing and creating a cluster. Obviously, it added some cost, so I was setting it up in the morning and turning it down in the evening.
Yeah, makes sense. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we'll take it easy and we'll catch up next week.
Yes.
Will do.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.